Hello, everyone. This is Taryn.
This is Isaac.
We are True Masters and Morons.
True Masters and Morons. And
Back
I realized,
in hell.
back in hell, I realized that we kind of ended the last episode while I was in the middle of saying something, so my bad.
Oh, snap.
What?
We're getting close to the end. Continue. Go, my frickin' are you serious? We're back, guys. My gosh. Because apparently that's how this episode's starting. Good gosh.
Let's try that again. By the way, in between him dying and us actually coming back, there was a train. So this video that's been 30 seconds or less has actually been 6 minutes of real time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we ended last episode, and I realized, oh wait, I was in the middle of saying something, even though I was the one who recommended let's end the episode.
We're just like, oh, hello. Just my shimbo. We were just literally like, oh, well, time's up. Well, this seems like a good time.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was one of the reasons why, answering a phone with, hello, this is Isaac, that kind of thing, is that there's a RTAA, or Rooster Teeth Animated Adventure, that I watched semi-recently, with Miles taking a call that turned out it was from Gus, but it was from a different line than he was used to, than the normal
this is an
company
old
line.
One. Yeah, I remember that story.
It's an old one, yeah. And he's, he just answers it with hello, and then Gus responds with wrong number, and hangs up. And everything could have been, it became a whole big mess that they had to go change some passwords around on all the accounts.
So like somebody has access to this
crap.
thing, and I didn't know who it was, because I think wasn't Miles like new at the time, or was he?
Miles was like, yeah, he wasn't new, but he didn't recognize him just by the hello. And after he hung up, Miles was like, I should probably start answering phone numbers that I don't recognize with hello, this is Miles.
That's funny. I forgot that was his takeaway from that.
Yep. That was his takeaway from as soon as the, wrong number, and then hung up. He was like, maybe I should start answering with, hello, this is Miles. And then, he discovers later that that is exactly what it was, and he was like, wow, yeah, I really need to start answering the phone with, hello, this is Miles.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, that's why I brought up answering it, hello, this is Isaac, in the last episode. But that's all that was. And my goodness, have we had quite the adventure in between the last two episodes.
Yeah.
There was some editing issues that were happening with me and my side. Taryn apparently got a phone call in between.
It was just one of those that they were
died.
doing their thing, and so I'm like, I'll take a phone call, sure. And then that kind of went a little longish.
Yeah, and then my headphones died, so we had to figure out a new headphone situation. And then our recording software screwed up on me, so it took another 10 minutes to fix that. It's been a day. It's been a day compounded on the end of what has been one of the most exhausting weeks that I have had in a long time.
Isaac is tired.
I'm tired. This week has been... So this week is Sarah's first week back at school. And...
Whoa!
Life on your right, life on your right!
Hold on.
Right out that door.
You were saying.
Chainsaw. Use your chainsaw.
Give me a second. Health is more important. I will come back for the chainsaw in a minute. Hold on. Nope. Oh!
Should have shot it. Should have shot it.
Ah! Sweet merciful Moses.
That only took 2. The fatties apparently only take 2.
Okay. Yeah. No. Good. That's great information.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So Sarah started school this week.
There you are.
Discovered that all the classes that she took, thinking that this would be the last semester she had to leave, turns out she had to take a writing in the major class that she thought she had already taken care of, and it would be fine. But turns
But they
out no.
weren't aware of that till like what, yesterday? It wasn't clear that it would be fine until very recently.
I want to say it was Tuesday that we discovered. It was Tuesday or Wednesday that she discovered she had to have a writing in the major class. And then...
But I know it was a while before you figured out that you would actually be able to get it, because you were talking
that's just
up
it.
until the last time I spoke to you before today that she was going to have to take another semester just to have that class.
Well, so what it was it last week?
No.
Hang on.
No, I was saying like up until I last spoke to you before today.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
We'll be back while I discuss this so I can, because I have nothing to say.
So yeah,
Okay.
she had suspected that she might need the writing in the that's ugly. The writing in the major class on Friday or Saturday, and then her academic advisor wasn't available on Monday.
All right,
so
I saw that power up. It was even one of the good ones, but I was so distracted by almost dying
a lot
that I didn't use it.
And then she discovered, so she confirmed that she needs the writing in the major class on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, she went and did the whole, I would like to join this class for everyone she qualified for on Tuesday. And unfortunately, all the ones she qualified for were waitlisted. And all the ones she didn't qualify for, obviously, she didn't qualify for.
Right.
And then, by the grace of whoever, she got in one of the waitlisted writing in the major classes, let her in. So somebody left and she was able to join.
Score.
But we essentially spent the whole week freaking out, trying to figure out what we were going to do, because we were pretty sure she was going to have to take another semester for literally a single class, so she was going to have to take 2 classes just to keep her, financial aid. It's just been a week of that, and stressing about potentially finding a job, and getting all the editing done that we needed to, on top of weird having to go to the store 4 times this week for things that we keep forgetting. And
what you're saying is your stress led to a complete lack of coordination, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. No, it was, yeah. And then this morning this morning I woke up to getting a phone call from the place that's giving me an interview on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I answered it the first time, and I was like, hello?
Hello?
Hello. All right, whatever. And I hung up because I didn't hear anything on the other side. And then that same number calls me again, and I'm like, okay, that must be a real person. Why would they immediately call me again? And I realize, oh no, I have my Bluetooth headphones in still because I sleep with sleep phones on for ASMR stuff when I sleep. And I couldn't find them. I didn't know where they were. The call ended, and I immediately call them back after turning off my Bluetooth. And I'm like, hey, this is Isaac. I just got a call from this number. So sorry, I have my Bluetooth on, and I left it in the other room, and I forgot. Hi, how can I help you?
That's
and they were like,
annoying.
Yeah.
Just as a concept of something to have to deal with.
And so they were like, oh yeah, we were just calling to see if we could set up an interview with you for this location. And I'm like, awesome, yeah, no, totally. What times do you have available? And I got the times. Whoa. I set that up. They told me what I need to bring. Wow, that's a big area.
This map is huge.
And I got all that done, and I have an interview, and I'm so excited because it's one that I'm very qualified for.
Yeah.
And so, fingers crossed that I get this job, especially since unemployment is...
Yes. Oh, where...
It was a nice little beginning to the day, and a nice little, I thought, cap to my week of stress, and then we just had the last hour of
what?
stress.
I swear to you, I hit the double jump. I must have double tapped when I first jumped. I don't even know.
We'll be back.
And based upon that, I'm going to say I don't need to kill everything in here, which I was being very precise about based upon previous events. Area security not verified. Well, how do I verify it?
How about you read the small text? I get that.
All right.
Yay!
Get rocked.
Sorry, that was yay. My mic was kind of far.
I said
the
die.
crap was I saying?
Oh, all right. I legitimately don't remember what we were talking about because we waited for yet another train in that death for like 5 minutes. So I apologize for the delay of the trains. Mostly because even though you won't feel them, you'll kind of feel them because we have no idea what we were saying.
Because we don't know what we're talking about.
And we made the mistake of not, taking
writing
a note.
this one down. No, that's...
By the way,
that is one of the
explosions
funniest... Nice. That is one of the funniest and worst parts about our recording setup and everything is... anything outside, since we don't really have a nice soundproof room to do it in.
Do you see an advantage to taking either direction besides maybe grabbing that power up on the way down?
No, I do not.
Because they don't seem to lead to anything, but this is a sort of quasi-secret-y way to go.
Well, they lead to where you need to go.
Sorry, I shouldn't say they don't seem to lead to anything special besides just...
Grab that. You're not coming back. Grab that.
It's literally... Oh, I guess my shields aren't full. Armor. Sorry. I'm like, it's literally a full heal, and I thought my armor was full.
And you weren't going to come back.
Yes, but if it doesn't do anything...
Get that quad damage.
Oops. No, I was in the right one the first time.
But yeah, that's one of the worst parts about our recording setup is when we, are in the middle of a conversation, we die, and then there's a train, there's some other sound, and we will sit there off screen for a good 5-10 minutes waiting for this other thing to go away, and then we just completely blank on what we're talking about. We have gotten better at writing down what we were talking about.
I was gonna say, that has nothing to do with our recording setup. That's just us not properly thinking it through.
Yeah.
That is completely the setup that would happen to anyone in the same situation, no matter what their setup is.
Well, I mean, if we had the proper setup in the proper location, we wouldn't have trains.
So that's the setup. Not being
setup,
near a
yes.
train.
Yes.
I see.
Not being near a train and not living in an apartment with neighbors who, slam around upstairs sometimes.
You're going to have to deal with noise no matter where we are. You're aware of this, right?
I mean, it'll be less if we're in a nice padded room.
If you say so.
Anyway, one nice thing about Terran's Trains, though, I'm halfway through an episode of Scrubs.
Oh, screw you.
Every time there's a train so far, I'm like, you know what? I want to watch something, so I've been watching Scrubs because right now that's
might as well at this point.
Well, yeah, and I've seen all of Scrubs before. It's a fun show, but it's my background noise show right now. So, speaking of shows, Sarah and I have set up a
spreadsheet,
an Excel spreadsheet of the shows we want to watch because we keep distracting ourselves with a lot of YouTube. And we're like, we have all these shows that we want to watch that are new, and then we have all these shows that we want to show each other that we both really like and want to show to each other.
Like that they individually have seen, but not the other one has not, kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. So we finally set it up so that we have 4 shows that we're swapping through, and the way we're choosing to do it is we will watch each show and swap whenever a serial ends, which is a new thing that I learned recently. For those of you who don't know, like me, a serial is when one or more episodes is all contained within the same story. So, like...
it's a story arc.
It's a story arc, yeah.
He's describing it badly again.
Shut up.
No! You're going to confuse them as much as you confused me, and they don't have that kind of time.
Just Google it. TV series
No,
serial.
you don't need to Google it. It's a story arc. That's what he was going to describe. I'm giving him crap because when he tried to describe it to me, I was like, so you mean like a 2-parter or a 3-parter? And he's like, yes! And then we start talking about it that way, and he's like, no! And I'm like, but you said that's what it was! And he's like,
but
no,
it can
it's
also
this.
Be a 1-parter.
And after what had to have been 15 minutes of conversation, we finally figured out that he's like, oh, you're just talking about a story arc. Yes. Okay.
See, but I also hear story arc, and I imagine like an entire series, entire season's overarching story.
Okay, Isaac.
Like,
you remember how you were just talking about the fact that you started what? What? Also, I may have a small addiction to this shotgun. Not like it's definitely my primary weapon or anything.
Not at all.
Keep that giant laser to yourself. Okay. So, yeah, you remember how you've been, you just recently started...
Well, so that's actually one of the 4 shows we're watching, because I wanted to introduce it to Sarah, is Farscape.
Right, so they told me they just watched the first few episodes, and it's very what? It's very episodic. Yes?
Very episodic. So
really,
one episode is a serial unto itself.
Right, and so that's one of those shows where there's really not a huge overarching season plot line. Mm-hmm. Oh, you bastard! So that was my only point about...
Well, but you could look at a show like Supernatural, which very much does have an overarching season plot line that each episode may or may not contribute something to, but almost every episode is also a storyline unto itself. You have one monster, they go into the town, they hunt that monster, and then that's the end of that serial of that episode. Sometimes those episodes can branch into 2 episodes long, so it's a 2-episode long serial.
Correct. My point was, it's. I feel like I can't say specifically whether it's actually more or less common now than it used to be. I know I personally gravitate towards.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That's sketch.
Huh?
That's sketch.
Agreed. I personally gravitate toward... Wow, all the shots of that I took, and I fell full. Ah, yes.
Oh, that's the thing. We've seen that thing.
Yep. I know what this is, and it's so much less horrifying than it should be.
Eat it. Oh, you gotta charge the sword. Got it.
Ding. That way next, bro.
And
Thanks,
are those... I assume those are like the weird spirits of the knights of whatever.
Those are the Night Sentinels, yes.
Yeah.
And those things are the little god dudes that they worship that generate all this energy.
Ah.
So, yeah.
All right. But you gravitate towards...
I gravitate towards things that have an actual story. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of episodic shows. I like the story-focused shows.
Okay, but that's what I mean. Like
so what I'm saying is like there's a lot, or at least when I was younger, there were a lot of shows like that, and I that's what I was going to say. It's like I feel like there's more shows that have a continuous story through line now than there used to be, but that could just be because that's what I watch, as opposed to there actually being more or less. Okay, so
Well,
I think I have to be able to press this button. So, oh,
okay. So now that you've gotten the orb from up there, you're able to got it.
okay.
But that's my point though. Like, therefore, I don't want to say the word storyline because storyline could also relate to the overarching story of the season.
Oh, what's
Ugh.
up? Oh, guys, check this new ability out. Sorry, let me actually hit it. Yeah, now things I kill when I snipe explode.
Ah. But yeah,
you,
so that's my reasoning for not saying story like a story arc, because I hear story arc and I go immediately to like season.
the major story arc of the season.
Yeah. And especially since there is apparently a word for the mini story arcs, which is apparently serial.
Well, except that story arc is itself its own. Wow. That thing took so many more blasts from this than it should have. That was obnoxious. So that is not the way to go with these.
No, just the front of them are just murder, dude.
What was that?
The front of them is just like, you gotta...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I've known that the front of them is bad, but I figured that would get through it, and nope. Anyway. Well, what I think is funny about that is you're talking about there being a word for serial already, but there is nothing inherently about the term story arc that says it has to be the whole season. You're applying that as opposed to the story arc of the season.
I do agree that is true, but
So
if there's a more specific word, should you not use the more specific word?
Well, but you're using that comparing it to the least specific word possible, because story arc isn't even specifically about just TV or movies. So
no, I know. But
that's not a fair comparison.
What I'm saying is that if there is a specific word, if I knew the specific word for the story arc of a season, I'd use that instead of story arc of the season.
Yeah, and that's fine. And in conversation, if you know it, that's great. But for descriptions thereof, for people who don't know or you're explaining it.
Yeah. So anyway, point is, a serial is an episode-based, not season-wide story arc. Is that an acceptable explanation?
Yeah, see, that's what just specify. That's all.
Okay. So how we've decided to watch these 4 shows is just at the end of each serial, even if we only have watched 1 or 2 episodes at most of each show, we're going to stop that show, move on to the next one, and cycle through our 4 shows that way.
That sounds exhausting.
Due to the fact that one of the shows we're watching is Farscape, it's like, it's how I have to watch that show, because you and I have discussed this before, just that show is not really a bingeable show.
Yeah, it's super serious all the time.
Yeah, it's a very serious all the time show. It's not really one that at least when we were watching it the first time, could emotionally handle just binging more than like 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah, no, and there's people out there that absolutely could. So, like, for example, people that like the Netflix Daredevil series could probably handle it. But, like, as an example, for the record, I'm not bad-mouthing that. Get off of your angry chairs, people.
No, we're not saying that Daredevil is bad. We actually really liked the show, but it is not something that he and I are going to binge, because when we binge something, we need a mixture of emotions, and shows like that don't have that.
Well, actually, specifically for Daredevil, I never finished it. I stopped watching it because it was such a good show. I really enjoyed everything I saw of it, but it was so dark.
Dark and serious and just like,
not even just serious, just dark. And Dickwad. All right.
Terran's gonna die.
I didn't hear that at all.
I said Terran's gonna die.
Eat me.
There's health over there.
I know. I'm killing the big nasty thing first.
You're gonna die.
Ha!
There you go.
Ha! Ha!
Oh, you should have used your BFG.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, that's another thing I didn't use.
Yeah. So, like, good show, but very dark, and so...
Yeah, it's like, I have
really...
no complaints about the show, except that it was so dark that I'm like, I don't need this in my life right now, quite frankly.
Yeah.
All right, you two, group up. Group up together. Come on. Come here, little guy. Bring the little guy over here.
But
Where are
so...
you, dude? Come on.
I don't know where he went.
Fine,
Just
I
shoot
don't
him.
care.
Nice.
Big redacted gun. Oh. Now I'm going to feel like I
Big
wasted it. I'm gonna be
redacted
mad.
gun? What?
In the bottom right, it said 2 out of 25 kills for something, and the title of it was Big Redacted Gun. Because,
nice. Yeah.
Howdy!
But yeah, I love Farscape, but the funny thing is when Taryn and I were originally binging Farscape, we were also binging
My gosh.
Stargate
How many
SG-1.
things are there?
And Stargate SG-1 was made to be binged. It does a very good job.
It's just a very well-written show.
Yeah, the show is so well written that, you know, every episode, almost every episode, obviously there are a few episodes that are more leaning to one emotion than the other, but almost every episode has a nice array of, oh, there's a serious thing that happened, oh, funny joke, oh, funny, amusing thing, oh, serious moment. Like, it does a very good job of flowing and having multiple emotions in its hour-long episode. Farscape, on the other hand, has some very, very funny episodes. When they do a comedy episode, they do it well and it is funny. But
and they have some very,
most of their
very
episodes,
serious episodes.
They have some very, very serious episodes, and then their general tone of the show is more serious, and they don't generally do the more up and down, the more up and down emotion thing. So it's a little less bingeable for us. That being said, that is all the time we have.
Ha ha! Alright everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to see more of this or any other Let's Play lore or other, let us know in the comments down below. And in the meantime, this has been True Masters, and
Morons signing off.
I'm going to do that one next time.
Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more like it, hit that subscribe orb.
To see our last Let's Play, click or tap the link on the right.
For our last lore video, click the link on the left.
Thank you to all of our patrons for making these videos possible.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.